So the other day I posted a video about lead magnets, answering the 5 W's of lead magnets. The who, what, why, when, where, I think. I've lost track of the W's, but you get the idea. But I wanted to create a quick follow-up video to that particular post, answering the question of how, because I realized it doesn't matter if you know all of those other details if you don't know how to create a good lead magnet. So we're going to just dive in briefly to what is it that contributes to making sure that you have a fantastic offer that people can't say no to. So what are the components of your free offer that are going to make it effective and successful for you? The number one thing is you want to make sure that it is a competitive free offer. We are in a world where everybody has a lead magnet. Let's face it, it doesn't mean that it's ineffective, but it does mean that yours has to stand out. So we want to make sure that it's competitive. And the best thing that I can suggest to you to make sure that it is competitive is to do your research. There are a couple of strategies that I have to suggest to you today so that you can do this. Number one, I would recommend join a couple of Facebook groups that are in your niche, right? And just be a fly on the wall and see what kind of questions people are asking, see what kind of problems are coming up, and see what the answers to those questions are. Discover what the needs are of your ideal avatar so that you can speak directly to those needs and bring value to them, right? But in addition to that, I wouldn't say instead of, but definitely my favorite one, or my favorite suggestion is to go on Amazon. Go on Amazon, find a couple of books that are in your niche and look in the reviews. And what I want you to do is don't look at the 5-star reviews, go look at some of the negative reviews, or maybe the medium reviews where it's like, this was great, this is exactly what I was wanting, but I really wish it would have covered fill in the blank. And when you can find those areas of deficit in resources that already exist in the niche that you inhabit, that's when you're going to find that you can speak directly to your ideal avatar. So yeah, find the missing pieces, do some sleuthing. It's kind of fun, actually. So that's the first thing, is make sure it's competitive, do your research to make sure that it is. The second thing is you want to make sure that it is consumable. This sounds so basic, but I could not tell you how many people have lead magnets that are, and honestly, I'll just say it, they're just too big. They're not consumable. So in your lead magnet, if it's a guide, if it's a PDF, if it's a checklist, whatever it is, you really want to make sure that the length is immediately accessible. And that is going to translate to about 3 to 7 pages maximum. Do not give away a free book. And the reasons why, if your lead magnet is too short or too, if it's too small, people are going to be disappointed, and that doesn't leave a good taste in people's mouths. So 3 pages, 7 pages, somewhere in that range, it feels substantial. But if it's too long, we run into potentially an even bigger problem, which is that they're not going to consume it. It's going to land in their inbox and they're never going to open it because they don't have the time to sit and read a whole book. They might not have time to even open it and download it, for goodness sake, let alone take the time to skim read it, let alone take the time to read it to learn what an expert you really are in your field. Great to have a book. Do not use it as your lead magnet. Because what the whole point of the lead magnet is, yes, it's to provide value to your potential clients. Absolutely. But from a marketing strategy standpoint, the main goal is that we want them to get to know you so that in the long game, you can provide them even more value. And if they do get to know you and they do understand who you are, what it is that you do, even just in that tiny snippet of information that's in your lead magnet, that is what's going to set up a platform for effective follow-up, email nurture sequences, and advertising retargeting. All of that is 100% reliant on the fact that they have opened and consumed your lead magnet. So that they remember your face, because because, and I think I said this in the other video, but the very last thing we could possibly want is for an email nurture sequence to go out and for people to receive it in their inbox and be like, who is this person who's emailing me? I don't even understand, why am I receiving this? And that's when you get all those unsubscribes. All well and good to get some unsubscribes because that's just weeding some people out who don't really want your offer. But if you're getting that because people don't know who you are, then we have a problem. So those are a couple of my top suggestions for making sure that the lead magnet you have is super effective and can help you run a super successful campaign.